Michigan Dual Agency Practice Questions. Question 1. During a offer review in Ann Arbor, a new applicant encounters a rule involving the civil minus rights component within salesperson pre-licensure education. Which response follows Michigan law, while the file concerns a student rental, a license transfer request, and an owner minus licensee conflict? Option A include a federal tax workshop. Option B include 8 hours of appraisal only. Option C include at least 4 hours on civil rights law and equal opportunity in housing. Option D include one optional ethics seminar. The correct answer is option C. Include at least 4 hours on civil rights law and equal opportunity in housing. A defined portion of the qualifying course addresses housing equality and civil minus rights law. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. An unrelated elective does not satisfy this subject minus specific mandate. Question 2. A team member is preparing for an open house in Kalamazoo. Which statement correctly addresses the examination provider used for the Michigan salesperson test, while the file concerns a vacant commercial parcel, an inspection addendum, and an expired license issue? Option A, pass a county assessor examination. Option B, pass an examination administered by the employing broker. Option C, pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Option D, pass only a school final examination. The correct answer is option C. Pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Michigan uses an independent testing vendor for the salesperson licensing examination. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. An employing broker may sponsor the applicant but does not administer the state examination. Question 3. Which Michigan requirement should control when a branch manager deals with the step that produces the candidate identification needed to schedule the test during a brokerage audit, while the file concerns an industrial site, a broker's supervision log, and a property minus management payment? Option A, submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. Option B, schedule with SI before applying. Option C, wait until a license is issued. Option D, ask a broker to create the candidate number. The correct answer is option A. Submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. Exam eligibility is connected to the online application record and verified course completion. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. The identifier is not created by a school or a prospective employer. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. At a license application, the brokerage discusses the employment relationship required before an active salesperson license is issued. Which conclusion is most accurate? While the file concerns a new construction home, a earnest minus money receipt, and a delayed possession term. Option A, register with a local board only. Option B, obtain sponsorship from a licensed individual broker or broker company. Option C, work independently without a broker. Option D, use a title company as the statutory employer. The correct answer is option B. Obtain sponsorship from a licensed individual broker or broker company. A Michigan salesperson practices through a licensed employing broker. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Independent brokerage activity requires a different level of licensure. Question 5. A compliance question in Pontiac concerns the number of brokers to which a salesperson may be licensed at one time. Which action or statement is appropriate, while the file concerns a mixed minus use building, a license transfer request, and a cooperating brokerage? Option A. No broker after passing the examination. Option B. Any number of affiliated brokers. Option C. One employing broker. Option D. Two brokers if both consent. The correct answer is option C. One employing broker. The salesperson license is tied to a single employing brokerage at a time. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Consent between firms does not create an exception to the one-employer structure. Question 6. How should a Michigan associate broker handle a situation involving whether a person may simultaneously hold salesperson and broker licenses, while the file concerns a cooperative unit, an inspection addendum, and a rejected counteroffer? Option A. The person may not hold both license types at the same time. Option B. Both are allowed if issued in different counties. Option C. The restriction applies only to associate brokers. Option D. Both licenses may remain active indefinitely. The correct answer is option A. The person may not hold both license types at the same time. Michigan separates the salesperson credential from broker-level licensure. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. County location does not alter the statewide licensing classification. Question 7. Which choice best applies the state rule concerning the usual validity period of initial salesperson pre-licensure education to an advertising campaign, while the file concerns a farm parcel, a broker supervision log, and an assumed business name? Option A, 6 months from enrollment. Option B, 1 year from application. Option C, 30-6 months from course completion. Option D, 5 years from examination. The correct answer is option C, 30-6 months from course completion. Initial salesperson coursework remains usable for a 3-year period after completion. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. The examination and application have their own shorter validity periods. Question 8. A file from Grand Rapids raises an issue about the usual validity period of a passing salesperson exam result. Which answer identifies the governing requirement, while the file concerns a lakefront cottage, a earnest-money receipt, and a security-deposit question? Option A. No expiration after passing. Option B. 1 year from the passing date. Option C. 3 years from testing. Option D. 90 days from testing. The correct answer is option B. 1 year from the passing date. A passing licensing score is time-limited even though it has been reported to the application. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Course validity and license-cycle length do not extend the score period. Are you looking for real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access real estate study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get real estate answer key today. Question 9. Before completing a closing preparation, which rule should the listing licensee apply to the usual validity period of a paid salesperson application, while the file concerns a townhouse, a license transfer request, and a dual-representation concern? Option A. 1 year from the payment date. Option B. Until the applicant chooses to reactivate it. Option C. 2 years from course completion. Option D. 30 days from submission. The correct answer is option A. 1 year from the payment date. The online application remains open for a defined 12-month period. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. A valid course certificate does not keep an expired application open. Question 10. A Michigan exam candidate reviews a scenario involving the requirement for a non-Michigan resident applying for a salesperson license. Which option reflects the current licensing framework, while the file concerns a urban infill property, an inspection addendum, and a protected -class inquiry? Option A. Appoint a county assessor. Option B. Submit a consent to service of process. Option C. Establish a Michigan homestead. Option D. Open a branch office. The correct answer is option B. Submit a consent to service of process. A non-resident applicant must provide a mechanism for legal process connected to Michigan regulation. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Residency in the state is not itself a condition for salesperson eligibility. Question 11. The broker's policy manual addresses the allowed address arrangement for a salesperson or associate broker. Which provision should it contain, while the file concerns a subdivision lot, a broker supervision log, and a disputed repair credit? Option A. Only a broker company may use a post-office box. Option B. An out-of-state address automatically voids the license. Option C. Every licensee must use a storefront. Option D. A post-office box may be used. The correct answer is option D. A post-office box may be used. Individual salespersons and associate brokers have more flexible address options than brokerage offices. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. The mailing choice does not remove non-resident service process requirements. Question 12. A regulator asks about the process used when a salesperson changes employing brokers during a brokerage review. Which response demonstrates compliance, while the file concerns a rural acreage, a earnest-money receipt, and an electronic signature? Option A. Keep both employers until renewal. Option B. Transfer the license through the county register of deeds. Option C. File a new pre-licensure course application. Option D. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. The correct answer is option D. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. Employment changes are recorded through the state licensing system. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. A deed-recording office has no role in transferring an occupational license. Question 13. Which statement would be safest for a branch manager to follow when the status that may follow removal by an employer before expiration becomes relevant, while the file concerns a single-family residence, a license transfer request, and a referral arrangement? Option A. Inactive county registration. Option B. Permanent revocation. Option C. No employer status. Option D. Automatic broker status. The correct answer is option C. No employer status. Michigan does not offer a formal license minus escrow classification for salespersons. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. That status does not authorize independent real estate practice. Question 14. A dispute arises during a listing presentation over the standard salesperson license renewal cycle. Which principal resolves the issue, while the file concerns a small apartment building, an inspection addendum, and a team social media post? Option A. 5 years. Option B. 1 year. Option C. 2 years. Option D. 3 years. The correct answer is option D. 3 years. Michigan salesperson credentials operate on a 3-year renewal cycle. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. The cycle length does not eliminate annual subject requirements within continuing education. Question 15. In Lansing, a salesperson must decide how to proceed with the total continuing education expected within a full 3-year cycle. Which decision is consistent with Michigan requirements, while the file concerns an office condominium, a broker supervision log, and a record inspection request? Option A. At least 18 clock hours. Option B. At least 12 clock hours. Option C. At least 40 clock hours. Option D. At least 6 clock hours. The correct answer is option A. At least 18 clock hours. A full renewal cycle requires 18 hours of eligible professional education. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Pre-licensure coursework cannot simply be relabeled as renewal credit. Question 16. Which exam answer accurately classifies the rule involving the annual law minus related continuing education component, while the file concerns a condominium unit, a earnest minus money receipt, and a branch minus office distance issue? Option A. 1 hour every 3 years. Option B. At least 2 hours involving laws, rules, and court cases. Option C. No annual subject requirement. Option D. 4 hours of appraisal each year. The correct answer is option B. At least 2 hours involving laws, rules, and court cases. Each year of the license cycle includes a real minus estate law component. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. General elective hours do not replace the designated legal instruction. Question 17. A new policy is being drafted for the annual fare minus housing continuing education component. Which language belongs in the policy, while the file concerns a retail suite, a license transfer request, and a financing contingency? Option A. 3 hours of advertising only. Option B. 1 hour of tax preparation. Option C. No fare minus housing instruction after licensure. Option D. At least 1 hour involving fair housing compliance. The correct answer is option D. At least 1 hour involving fair housing compliance. Housing minus equality instruction remains an annual part of professional education. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. A general business course does not satisfy this designated subject by itself. Question 18. During team training, the supervising broker tests knowledge of the timing of continuing education in relation to online renewal. Which answer should the team select, while the file concerns a manufactured home site, an inspection addendum, and an unrepresented consumer? Option A. Substitute a new licensing examination. Option B. Finish the required education before submitting the renewal. Option C. Renew first and complete education later. Option D. A complete education only if audited. The correct answer is option B. Finish the required education before submitting the renewal. The licensee must be able to truthfully attest to educational compliance during renewal. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. An audit is a verification mechanism rather than the event that creates the obligation. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A consumer asks the brokerage to explain the record minus retention period for proof supporting a continuing education certification. Which explanation reflects Michigan law, while the file concerns a 2- unit rental, a broker supervision log, and a confidential price limit? Option A. 1 year after the course. Option B. Until the license card arrives. Option C. Permanently with the county clerk. Option D. At least 4 years after the certification date. The correct answer is option D. At least 4 years after the certification date. Licensees are responsible for keeping acceptable evidence of completed renewal education. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Course providers or local offices do not replace the licensee's documentation duty. Question 20. Which compliance step is required when the transaction facts involve the consequence of a license being revoked before a new application, while the file concerns a historic residence, a earnest minus money receipt, and a change of employing broker? Option A. Wait at least 3 years after service of the final order. Option B. Wait 30 days. Option C. Complete only a transfer request. Option D. Reapply immediately after paying a fee. The correct answer is option A. Wait at least 3 years after service of the final order. Revocation creates a statutory waiting period before a new license application. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. A routine transfer or fee payment cannot bypass the sanction. Question 21. A new applicant notices a potential problem involving the education calculation for relicensure when expiration was less than 3 years ago. Which response should occur first? While the file concerns a student rental, a license transfer request, and an owner-licensee conflict? Option A. A complete 40 hours for every missed month. Option B. No education is required. Option C. Complete 6 hours for each elapsed year or partial year. Option D. Repeat only the original exam. The correct answer is option C. Complete 6 hours for each elapsed year or partial year. Recent relicensure uses a year minus by minus year continuing education calculation. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. The original salesperson course is not automatically the only route in this situation. Question 22. The state portion of the exam presents facts about the additional choices after a license has lapsed for 3 years or more. Which result is supported, while the file concerns a vacant commercial parcel, an inspection addendum, and an expired license issue? Option A. Meet the stated relicensure education or examination pathway. Option B. Reactivate through a local association. Option C. Pay a late fee only. Option D. Use an employer transfer without review. The correct answer is option A. Meet the stated relicensure education or examination pathway. A long expired credential requires more than a routine renewal transaction. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Local membership does not restore state authority to practice. Question 23. Which brokerage practice properly addresses the source from which a salesperson may accept brokerage compensation in the Grand Rapids transaction, while the file concerns an industrial site, a broker supervision log, and a property management payment? Option A. A buyer directly without broker involvement. Option B. A home inspector. Option C. Any cooperating salesperson. Option D. The employing real estate broker. The correct answer is option D. The employing real estate broker. Salesperson earnings for regulated activity flow through the employing brokerage. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. A transaction participant cannot bypass the broker by paying the salesperson directly. Question 24. A licensee is comparing 4 procedures related to payment of commissions earned before a salesperson left a brokerage. Which procedure is lawful, while the file concerns a new construction home, a earnest money receipt, and a delayed possession term? Option A. The former broker may pay the income that was earned during employment. Option B. The new broker must collect it first. Option C. The money must be forfeited. Option D. Payment is allowed only after relicensure. The correct answer is option A. The former broker may pay the income that was earned during employment. Compensation already earned under the former employment relationship may still be distributed afterward. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. A later transfer or licensing change does not automatically cancel earned income. Question 25. At the end of a team training, the parties question the ability to sue for a brokerage commission. Which statement provides the best guidance? While the file concerns a mixed-use building, a license transfer request, and a cooperating brokerage. Option A. Only the buyer's signature is needed. Option B. Licensure must be alleged and proved for the regulated services. Option C. An oral advertisement establishes entitlement. Option D. A license is irrelevant in a compensation action. The correct answer is option B. Licensure must be alleged and proved for the regulated services. A person seeking judicial recovery for regulated brokerage work must establish lawful licensure. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Advertising or a participant's signature cannot replace occupational authority.